My music stand's falling down. Huh? Pull. It's falling down. This isn't going to work. My webcam still isn't working. So I can only use my computer camera. So I put my computer on a music stand so I could lean it over to see the keyboard because my webcam still isn't working. I don't know why. So no one's here yet. 0 worries. Okay. All right. So since no one's here yet, I'm going to tune. But I'm going to put this over here so people can see it. Like so. Let me get it closer. Maybe can we see this? Kind of, sort of.
Are you talking to anybody?
Nope. Yes. So let's see. I was starting from F, and someone told me to start with. I'm doing this in a crazy order. Oh, 2 people are here. Hi. My webcam still isn't working, so I'm stuck using my computer camera on a music stand. So, if you're game, I'm starting from F3. Holler out whatever note you want me to tune next. You can make it really, really hard, or you can give me a sequence you want to see me go through. I don't care. So I'll give the 2 people who are here a chance to shoot out the note I tuned first. It can be anything. It has to be between F3 and F4. And I've already tuned F3. So, I don't know who's here. Say hi. Hi. Oh, I should have introduced myself. I should introduce myself at the beginning of every live stream for new people. A3 coming up. Allender, A3. Teratip. Hi. So, for the live stream purpose for recording later, I am Piano Tech Maggie. I love talking about aural piano tuning and teaching things about it. And so that's what I'm going to do. Alan Eater. Hi, Alan. Cool. Okay, so I am tuning and then E flat 4. Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna try to be able to see the comments while I do this. Okay, but A3 was first. That's not very hard. Let's see. Okay, and what was next? E flat. There you go. That's hard. Okay, so let's see. This is narrow interval. I'm going to put it there. Okay, what's next? Give me another note. Give me a note to tune. I got A3. And I got E flat. Another note? If someone doesn't give me a note, I'll get my husband to pick a note. Pick a note. Pick a note. Any note. You have to pick a note.
C sharp.
Are you only tuning the middle string? Yeah, just middle string. Just middle string. F sharp 3. That's it. F sharp 3. There we go. What have I tuned? Oh, look what else I've tuned here. Let's see. I tuned A. Minor third. Oh, that's too slow. Hold on. I'm going to raise this back up. Okay. Next note. I got F sharp 3. I'm tuning beatless for all 3 strings. Any note? Oh yeah, I can do that in a minute. Sure. I'm gonna go 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes to, or well, maybe a little more than 3 more minutes. 3 to 8 more minutes for me to tune a temperament. I need notes faster than you're giving them to me, though. You got to give me another note if I'm going to tune this thing. G. G. Let's see, what have I tuned? I can't use that. Yeah, I could. Let's see. Let's see. So, I haven't tuned D. I've tuned this. That's a sixth. Let me think. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, give me another note. I got G. E. E. What have I tuned? That's too easy. See, I don't know if G is right though. That's too slow. So do I lower G? I can't remember what I've tuned. I got A. Oh, I have A. Ha ha! Ha! Okay. Okay. Next note, G sharp. Uh-oh. Wait, you gave me this note, didn't you? Yeah, you did. No. Okay, so this one's wrong. Oh! I haven't tuned D yet. Okay, another note. G sharp. I tuned G sharp. Give me another note. What's happening? Did I arrive on time? Oh, hi, Audi. I'm having people give me random notes for a random temperament setting. So far I have F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, I have E and E flat. I think that's it. I think that's all I've tuned so far. C sharp. C sharp. And then D. Okay, C sharp and then D. So C sharp. I've tuned A. I'm going to lower A just a hair. Oh! Got carried away. That's too slow. That's not. Okay, that's close. And then you said D. D. Oh, it's in G too. I'm gonna raise that just a little. Did I tune the B flat yet? No, I didn't tune A sharp yet. Okay. Okay. What's next? Give me another note. What do I have left? I got A sharp, B. I haven't tuned C yet. I think I tuned C sharp. Yeah, I tuned C sharp. I've tuned D. Okay, so I've tuned everything except A sharp, B, and the upper F, I think. I tuned G sharp? Yeah, G sharp. I tuned everything but, so, B. B. Wait, I haven't tuned B flat yet. Come on. That's too fast. Oh, okay. It's a little messed up, but let's see what's next. Yeah, tune B sharp. I can do that. Oh, sorry. This is messed up. Oh, it's messed up. Okay, what else? Yeah, okay. So what have I not tuned? Everything but the upper F. So I'll tune the upper F. Oh, that's pretty good right there. I can tell that minor third's too fast right there. Okay, time of truth. Let's see how bad it is. It could be worse, but it's not. It's not awesome, but it could be worse. I went through that too fast. Sorry. Here. Noisy fourths. That's too pure. Okay, well, I give myself a 70%. Okay, so what is it? 8:11. I went a minute over my time. So every time I start one of these, I'm gonna have people throw notes at me. Any order you want, you can give me any sequence you want, and we'll see how I do. And if it doesn't come out awesome, that's okay. I'm just gonna do it. We'll see how good I get if I keep doing this. So yeah, that needs a little work yet, but I'm not gonna fix it now. So anyhow, what was I gonna do? Oh, we were talking about unison. Let me see. Give examples of tuning beatless for all three strings. Any note? Yeah. Yeah, I can talk about unison. So let's see. I'll just point this away. And for those who weren't here earlier, my webcam still is not working. I don't know why I can't figure it out. So I'm limited to my computer camera. Woohoo! Okay. So let's do F sharp because it's right in between where my temperament strips are, and it's the easiest one to unmute. So let me do the right string from center. And that party. Oh. Of course, my air just kicked on. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Now, what I can do before I tune the other string, that's going to be in my way. My temperament strip is flopping over. There we go. I can do center, the major through a D to F sharp with just the center string. Now I can do the ED to F sharp with just the right string. They should be the same. You know, if you tune a unison and you think it's okay, but you want to triple check it, double check it, play a major third with each note individually. If you can hear a difference, then it's not on. So anyway, now the left string. Left string, come on. But I'm going to mute the right string first. I'll tell you why in a minute. It's going to jump all over the place. Oh, that's right in the edge. Can you hear it? So let me do, this is not quite right. Let me do the major third thing and you'll see. So here's the center string. Now here's the left string. Okay, that surprises me. I thought it was going to be slower, but it's fast. Oh yeah, because I'm still sharp. Yeah, I'm still just a hair sharp. I'm going to go way out. There it goes. I would pick a jumpy one. Come on. That's probably as good as I'm going to get it. So there's a little wah. So now I'm going to play all three strings. The wah is still there, you know. So I totally understand and support people, and I'll tell you why. This is kind of important, actually. So there are people who say you should never tune the way I just did, where I mute out the string I just tuned and tune the other string, because you should listen to the whole sound and tune the unison as a whole unit. And they're right, okay, but for me, I always hear something in that unison. I always do, and it's distracting to me. So if I try to bring in the third string with two other strings, I'll spend 5 minutes trying to get that unison and I'll never get it. And so I tune it left and right. Whoops. And then I check the whole sound and I can adjust if I need to. So the end result's the same, but for me personally, it just works better. I'm moving that last string again. I like that a little better. That's going to have a little wah. I'm having trouble with that one. Might not be able to be better than that. Let me play with that major third thing again. Here. Let's see. Center string. Left string. Sorry. That's pretty darn close. Is that what you wanted me to do? Tune unison? Oh, here. Do you deliberately detune your piano? Yeah. So I teach on this piano to my husband's dismay because he would love to play this piano. So it stays temperament stripped pretty much all the time. And then like once a month, I'll actually tune it. But then as soon as I have a lesson, I'm detuning it again. Because when we do lessons, we do exercises where we do a lot of exercises before we set a temperament. And with the exercises, you're pretty much just working with smaller interval groups. And so we're detuning it constantly. So my piano is rarely in tune. I try to get it close enough so my husband can play it when he wants to, but it's only tuned once a month. That's it. So yeah, it's usually out of tune. Alan, HW is the mating of that unit. Oh, that's a really good question. How is the mating of that unison? Let's see here. Oh, neat. Come on, you. Well, it would help if I hit the right string. Oh, come on. There. Ah, I can't get it to not. There you go. Whoops. Oh, come on. Let me get something I can grab it with better. I just saw something earlier. Here, got a little piece of wire. Oh, haha. It's a paper clip. Oh, let's see if this works. Watch me drop it in there. No. There it is. It's the left string. Alan called it. Alan called it. The string's not mating. Bingo. Thank you. That was cool. That's why I like doing this. That's very cool. That was very cool. Let's see. So it's not mated well. Audie, do you find your hand technique for stability feels different when tuning aurally versus... That's such a good question. I feel like stability sucks when I'm trying to tune aurally. Yep. Absolutely 100%. Let me come back to that. Alan, sometimes problems that cannot be solved with a tuning lever can be solved with voicing techniques. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. I'm so glad you asked about that because that was a perfect example of that. And I wouldn't have even thought to say anything. So it's wonderful. Thank you. Audi, so the beating was from mating problems. The tinny wah was from a mating problem. I couldn't get the clean unison because the hammer was not hitting that string with the same force that it was hitting the other two. It was just barely touching it. And so I don't know exactly what's happening there, but it was creating what I'm gonna mentally imagine. So I'm describing this. I don't know that this is really what's happening, but in my mind, it's creating a situation where the upper harmonics are ringing a little bit louder, more than the fundamental of that string. It was not necessarily out of tune, but out of phase. Right. So it's hitting the string differently. That can not only affect the tone, where the upper harmonics are a different volume level than the other one, so they might be louder and I'm hearing it, but it can also cause the inharmonicity to be a little different on those strings when they're struck. So if the inharmonicity is different, then those partials are going to phase. They're going to phase. So what Audie said is correct. It's out of phase. Now, the aural versus ETD. Yeah, I was an ETD. I can answer this question. I was an ETD user for 18 years. Okay, Audie, interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. It's fascinating stuff. I'm getting to the point, I'm a little behind when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I'm getting to the point where I can hear when certain things are happening. Like Alan heard it. He heard it, so there you go. I'm getting there. But yeah. Okay. So with an ETD, you can eye-hand coordination, but you can visually see the target. Okay. And almost exactly where that target is or where you want it to be. And you can replace it. You can shift it. You can fiddle with it. You can see if it goes out immediately. Aurally, you still have a target. Okay. But it's a little more fuzzy. For several reasons. Not only are we trying to hear half-cent changes in beat rates, which can be done, but it's, to precisely say, oh, this is X number of beats per second. That's very hard. You can say 7-ish, but 6.89, no, give me a break. So you can hear changes in beat rates. But you're dealing with different intervals as well. With an ETD, you're just hitting a spot, one. Okay. With this, we've got the measure of the fifth, we've got a fourth, we've got progressing thirds, progressing sixths, or whatever intervals you're using. And they all have to match. So that target, the more intervals you use, the more, you can aurally nail where that needs to be. But it is harder then to go back and to move it and replace it if you think it's not stable. There's a million reasons you want to hit it where it needs to be and leave it. And that's not necessarily the most stable place. So I've been gradually, over the past few years, getting my lever technique with my ear-hand coordination better. But when I first started tuning aurally, stability was a big problem for me. It was a big problem. I'm getting it. It's practice, just like with an ETD. When you first start tuning with anything, stability is a problem, So I'm getting it. I think anybody can get it. Okay. Any other? We have 18 people. Woohoo! Thank you all for coming. So, any other questions? Comments, concerns, questions? I should fix this string. I don't have my string lifter. So to fix this string, until somebody asks a question, I would take my string lifter and pull up on just I'd pull up on the two strings that are hitting the hammer first to try to get them a little higher so they would all hit at the same time. Or I can take a sanding file and sand down the two strike points on the hammer that are hitting the two strings first, so then it still comes up and hits all three strings at the same time. I can do both those things if I want to, but that's how I would address this issue. I don't have my tools with me. They're in my car. So I'm not going to do that right now. Would love to see an example or two of exercises you might do during a lesson. Oh, yeah, I really want to do that. I have to be careful how much I do. I can't share Butler School stuff, but I can share my stuff. Okay. Because there's some things that are exclusively mine. One moment. I have allergies. I have winter allergies, and they're very annoying. So I apologize. Okay, so an exercise. I've shown this exercise before, but let me go over it again. Let me go over two exercises. This is the kind of thing we do. Let me go C to E, because the beats are easier to hear. But hold on a second. We're going to E. Hold on, sorry. Actually, I don't know that they're easier to hear. Okay, I'm gonna do two of this, and then I'm gonna do three of another exercise. So I usually start people with C3 and E3 because it's usually easier to hear. On this piano, I don't think it is. But you want this to be around 5 beats a second. And for this exercise, it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't even have to be in tune. As long as it's anywhere between 4 and 6 beats a second, it's fine. Now, any minor third that is touching a major third must be faster than that major third. Wait, some people wrote some things. Do the fourths. The fourths? Alan, or you could run a chopstick tool needle under the left string cut. Hold on. Oh, I'd be afraid of darkening the tone. Okay, I'll come back to that. Let me do this first. Here we go. That's a neat idea. So we have this major third, and just working on the notes inside of this major third. This minor third must be faster, which it is. And this other minor third must be faster, which it is. The minor thirds must also progress. And they do. So I got lucky. I didn't have to retune this. So what we do first is we first get a concept of wide versus narrow and how they interact. So a major third is a wide interval. That means in equal temperament, we start with pure and we widen it. And we can widen it by lowering the C or raising the E until it's about 5 beats a second. And that's where it is right now. Or might be a little faster than that. But anyway. Okay, now a minor third is a narrow interval. So it's the opposite. If it's pure and you want to temper it for equal temperament, we either raise C or lower E flat. We make it more narrow. Okay, so we're making these. This is wide from pure. C to E is wide from pure. C to E flat is narrow from pure. So if you widen C to E more, you're taking it further away from pure and it will beat faster. If you widen C to E flat, you're getting it closer to pure and it will beat slower. Okay? So if I put my lever on C, I can lower C and I can speed up this major third and slow this minor third down at the same time. So an exercise to do to start to get this concept, this is early, you know, you lower C and you make these equal beating. So that's pretty close. And then you raise it back. Whoops. Too much. Thereabouts. And then we do it again with major thirds. Here, 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 all the way up to F. I think I got that too fast. Anyway. Oh. Also, well, we tune our major third, we move it around, and we make it to where these are faster, but also progressing. Anyway, that's another part of the exercise. So here I can do the same thing, except this is 7 beats a second. This might be a little faster. So these are faster, but they progress. I don't know if they progress. That one might need to be a little faster, in which case I could lower A or raise F sharp. Do you remember I said I thought this was a little fast? If I slow this down by lowering A, I'm going to speed up that minor third. So I can, and this doesn't have to be in tune right now. It's just an exercise for concepts. So I could raise F sharp or lower A. Let's lower A. I'm going to do both. I'm going to raise F sharp. And it's also practicing hearing minor thirds. If you can hear minor thirds, you can hear anything. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lower F until the FA and FA flat are equal beating. Whoops. That's pretty close. Then I put it back. Or thereabouts. So that's one exercise we do. Another one is with a fourth. And we do it from fourths from here all the way up to here. So with a fourth, the fourth needs to be a little wide. So let's check that. It is. Might be too wide, but it doesn't matter for this exercise. It really doesn't. So then we have 5. And this one has to be faster. So you tune E from C to be about 5, and you tune this to be about 5.5. And it's faster, even if the beat faster. It just has to be faster for this exercise. Now, we have minor thirds. So the major thirds must progress, but the minor thirds must also progress. And when you tune this major third, you're affecting this minor third. When you tune this major third, you're affecting this minor third. Okay, and so you tune, let's see, you tune the E flat to make this slower than this, and then you tune the D to make this, to make the D to F faster than the C sharp F, C sharp E. I can do this. So those are examples of, and then we do that on different fourths. So those are examples of exercises we do to get started with understanding how intervals interact. So how many questions did I miss? I like the chopstick tool needle idea. Yeah, I could do that. I don't have my tools. I'll bring my tools in next time. The last tuner, or you could check hammer rotation. Yeah, absolutely. Although it is hitting both the 2 right strings. So if I turned it just a little, it might work. Otherwise, I'm going to hit the left string and not the right. But I would need to check it. I need to see if everything is lined up correctly. Absolutely. That's a really good idea. Hammer travel. Well, hammer travel and hammer rotation. So Okay, so travel. Okay, you have a hammer. Okay, travel is this way. Okay, rotation is this way. So we need to check everything, but in this case, rotation is going to be more affecting what string it's hitting. So I need to make sure my hammer isn't warped left or right. Then there's also travel. It needs to be going straight to the strings and not to the left or the right. But as long as it's square, it's still going to hit all three strings as long as it's square when it gets there, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Or squaring. Yes, squaring, hammer rotation, squaring. It would be that, I think. That would be the same thing, I'm guessing. Zora monster or square, regardless of all solutions for string mating. Right, squaring it. Last tune or burn the shank, rotate hammer clockwise. Right. If that's what's needed. So for me, I would check that hammer. And if it's actually square, like seriously. So like if I have hammers on either side of it, if it goes up and the space between the hammer and its neighbors stays exactly the same on the way up, that hammer's square, and I'll mess with the strings. If it's not, you have to change the hammer because you want it to be as square and as straight as possible. Sometimes alignment from the factory isn't quite right, so you have to compromise somewhere. You can you have the key, the capstan, the whipping. Everything has to be aligned up. But what if everything's perfectly aligned and then the hammer goes to hit your strings and it's off and it's not hitting? So you gotta kind of mush going backwards and get everything as lined up as close as you can and still have it hit those strings square, if that makes sense. And burning the shank. What's the other word for that? Alan, you know the word for that, don't you? Casting. Rick wants me to use the word casting because he thinks burning sounds hostile or violent. It sounds like you're burning the piano. So casting, but burning. That's what they say, burning.
I casted the deck.
Assuming its neighbor is square. No, Audie. So if the other hammers aren't moving, it doesn't matter if they're square or not. What you're looking for is the space. So if you have two hammers, let me try to do this. If I have one hammer leaned and I go up, then the top, look at the space at the top, that where my nose is right now. The space at the top is big, and when I come up, it gets smaller. It doesn't matter. If this one's also, it's going to do the same thing. See, it's getting smaller. So it doesn't matter if the other hammers are square. You're looking at how the single hammer moves in relation to the other hammers. So if they aren't quite square, it doesn't matter. It gives you really good information. So it doesn't matter. It does matter, however, with traveling. So if you're traveling and all your hammers are moving, say, to the right, they're going to look great if you just lift them all up. So you need to do the same thing. You need to watch that hammer. Wait. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You need to watch that hammer. Alan might need to help me here. If it's moving, then you still have a space issue. Oh, you know what? Oh my God. I'm mixing up my information. So you can cast, burn, and square hammers just with having them all at rest and having that hammer come up and watching how it moves in relation to everything else that's still. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, and the others, it doesn't matter if they're square or not, or travel or not, because they're not moving. All right. Any question about tuning? Because I'm getting out of my expertise here. I know some things, but I'm not a rebuilder. When flexing pins, is it ever the case that the pin block wood takes a few minutes to uncompress? Or is it immediate? Okay, I'm going to talk about this. I don't know, but I know some things that I can share. If you flex the pin too much, could the stability end up not where you left it? Yes. Well, it depends on who you ask. I'm going to say yes, but I'll tell you why some people say no. You said use both ETD now, more so aural. Yeah. Are you just pulling out the ETD for pitch raises? Not pretty much. I find aural really mentally tiring by the end of the day. Yeah. So I have an ETD. A piano meter is very aural tuner friendly because I can just pull it out and have it running in the background while I'm tuning. And then if I do get too tired or run into a question, it measures the piano as I go. I can look at it and see what it thinks and be like, oh, got it. And I don't always agree with it across the break, but it's pretty good. It almost always agrees with me in the treble. Going into the bass, sometimes I'm not with it, but I'm usually parallel to it. But it can give me some nice information. If I've just so like the other day I did, it was huge. What was it? It was 100-cent pitch raise, I guess. 100-cent pitch raise. I used the ETD the whole time. I'm not tuning that orally. I think it was a spin it. I was like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Using the ETD. No. So it just depends on, if I'm tired, I'll use an ETD. They're good, you know. I will tune aurally because I haven't been tuning aurally that long yet, and I'm still practicing. I'm still trying to get better. So I can't get better if I don't do it. So I'm still tuning aurally, and I'm still using a temperament strip because I'm still experimenting with new ideas and new ways to teach and new approaches and stuff. I'm constantly experimenting. So when I'm alert, first piano of the day, especially if doesn't need a huge pitch raise, I'm probably going to be tuning aurally, and I'm going to be thinking about ways I can teach as I go. That's just kind of what I do. Flexing the pins. Okay. Now, I have a student, because I flex pins. I have a student who just got a job where he's not allowed to flex pins. And I taught him stability with some flexing of the pins. So we had to go over this together. So the only way I personally know, and I know other things are possible, I just don't know how to do it. I know you can get stability without flexing the pin if you bang a lot. And he said his new boss banged a lot. So that's what you got to do. There's exceptions to this, though. So if I'm tuning and I am not allowed to bend the pin, I'm gonna put earplugs in and bang. And frankly, I don't want to do that. So I wouldn't take that job. You know, you don't want to flex the pin too much. So I don't know about uncompressing the wood. My assumption is that over the long term, especially if the piano's tuned a lot, you're going to be probably damaging the wood a little bit. But I think it's minimal because I've been bending pins a long time and I have no problems. And I've had pianos that, like, I've seen them, the first time they were tuned is when they were delivered in the home. And then 30 years later, I get there to tune and the pins are loose. You know, so all kinds of things affect the wood other than tuning. So I just don't know. So I just can't answer that question. If you flex the pin too much, could the stability? Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. I know from personal experience. Let me see if I can do it. So I'm gonna open this unison up again so you can hear it. Let me see if I can do it on this piano. Wait, this is the unmated string. Let me go to the other one. Yeah. Next time I'm going to have my tools in here so I can do that. Okay. I'm going to try to push this flat just by flexing it. So I'm going to flex more than I usually do, which I don't like, but I'm going to do it. Just got a wave in it. So there's a little bit. Now let me see what happens when I bang on it. Oh, it stayed. Okay, so in theory, it's not doing it on this piano. In theory, if you flex down hard enough, then when if it bounces back, let's see, I don't know, what it did here. If it bounces back hard enough, then it can go sharp on a hard blow. And I've done this. I know it can happen. I've done it accidentally. And I was like, oops. So it depends on how much friction's in the piano. It depends on how tight the pins are. Well, not with flexing, but yeah. If the pins are tighter, you're going to get more flex and twist just because the lever is going to do that. Yeah, if you flex too much, it should go sharp. So if it's going flat, it's probably something else. I'm going to stick by that one. But as far as the wood goes, I actually don't know. I wish I did. Zora Monster, you said you use both ETD and unmortar. Oh, I answered that. Yeah, I'm definitely using ETDs for pitch raises. I did some pitch raises early on without the ET just for fun. 2 of them came out so good I couldn't believe it, and the rest were horrible. And I had to go back and do it again. Oh, when you flex for stability, you push the hammer lever down. Yeah, there's different ways to do this. So in my case, there I am. I'm going to just gently, by my definition, gently push down as I'm turning. Whoops. Where'd I go? I went past it. Now, you can also flex toward the string as you pull up, which I don't do very often, but let me try it. No, I won't be able to do it. It's almost there. So the idea is you flex the pin. It releases extra tension in the non-speaking length. Then when you bring it back, oh, that reminds me of another question someone asked. When you bring it back, when you let go, it bounces back a little bit, increases the tension on the non-speaking length, and you end up with more stability. That's the theory. I know someone who is very good at starting low, flexing, pulling it up, letting go, and that thing is stable like crazy. And I've been able to do that on specific pianos, but it's not my general practice. I'm not good at it. Someone mentioned about the pin staying. My experience is they flex back. I know other people who swear they don't. So I don't know, but that's my experience. Let's see. Couple of wait, when you flex for, yes, I push the lever down. Okay. Hallam music. Couple of rookie questions. When you tune fourths, someone asked me about fourths. When you tune fourths and check using thirds and sixths, what are you listening for? Okay. Same question for fifths by checking the minor. Yeah, I'll go over that real quick. Keynote Piano Tech. I found if I flex too much in a very high friction piano, rust. The note just stays flat with no stability at all. Oh, interesting. But does it go sharp? That's what I want to know. Keynote Piano Tech. Does it go sharp on you? Or does it go back flat if it's not stable? Because if you're flexing toward the string, it should go sharp. Audi, how does that translate to an upright? Pull away from the pins. No, toward the string. Always toward the string. You're making the non-speaking length relax toward the speaking length. So it's always toward the string. I'm going to come back to the other question. C Muse, are there any piano design decisions made by some manufacturers that you wish would become industry standard? Yeah, either from the perspective of a piano tech or a player. Yeah, let me come back to that. Rookie questions. All right. So I have videos on this. So after this video is over, I'll link the videos on this in the description of this video. All right. So, all right. Fifth. So the one I was using here, I am going to raise A flat right now, way too far to slow this beat right down, so you can hear it better. Okay, now minor third, major third. That's almost pure, but it is narrow. Okay, here we go. Now, whoop. So I have my fifth. I'm gonna have to get this over here, sort of. I hope you can see this. Is it left to right in the video? Good. Okay, so we have coincident partials. There's one here, 3-2, and there's one at 6-4 up here. They're marked. All right. These are harmonic series strips, so they mark my coincident partials right here and here. Now, this note has a harmonic series. And the fifth partial, 2 octaves in a major third from this note, lines up with the second coincident partial of my fifth. Okay? So if this minor third and this major third are equal beating, that means that these 2 coincident partials are the exact same distance from the coincident partial from my A flat. So, because a major third is wide, so the partial from my A flat is going to be below the partial from the C, and a minor third is narrow, so the partial from my F is also going to be below the coincident partial from my A flat. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. So if they are equal beating, that means these two things. This coincident partial is impure. It means my fifth is pure at the second coincident partial. If the major third is slower, it means that the partial from my C is closer to the one on the A flat than the partial from the F. Okay, which means my fifth is narrow. Because if I lower the C, it slows down A flat to C, or if I raise my F, it speeds up F to A flat. So if my lower minor third of my fifth is faster than my upper major third of my fifth, it means it's narrow. Now, the first coincident partial is just this down an octave. I might have to move my camera just a hair. Okay. And so now, see, now I'm at the first coincident partial. Let's listen to this again. That's wide. So my C is too sharp. So there you go. And then fourth, same thing. Let me do G to C because the white keys are easier to line this up on. So my first coincident partial is 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3. A fourth is a 4 to 3 ratio. Fourth partial from my G, which is not muted right now, and my third partial from my G are where the first coincident partial is. The fifth coincident partial from E flat, 2 octaves in a major third, line up with that coincident partial. So I can do the same thing. If, wait, I'm going to mute that. That's going to be annoying. My sixth is faster than my major third. Okay, so imagine it pure first. If it's pure, it means that these are equal beating. All right. If I lower my G to widen the fourth, I slow down the major third. Or if I raise my C to widen the fourth, I speed up the sixth. So as long as the sixth is faster than the major third, that proves my fourth is wide. So that is a summary of those. It's not a bad one. It's not a nutshell, but it's not everything. So I hope that answered the question about that. And then, yeah, so that answers that question. I hope. If I didn't explain something right, let me know. C Muse, are there any? Yeah, so let's see. Standard. I mean, it's a tuner. I want an odd number of bichords, so I can mute them out more easily. Things like that. I just Harlem music, brilliant. Thank you. I'll watch the other videos as well. Yeah, I will link them in the description of this video once it's uploaded. It takes a minute to render, depending on how fast my internet is. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to think about that. Whatever the piano is what I get. I can tell you what I don't like. I don't like drop action spinets, that's for sure. Standard. Gosh. I'm gonna have to think about it. I just take whatever I get. I like when there's a place on a vertical to put your mute, to mute the lowest string in the tenor. I love when they put a bump there that you can put your mute against to mute. Things like that are the things I like. I'm just tuning them. I don't know. If I think of something, I'll let you know. I know there are things. It's just not coming to my mind right now. Dawn Chorus, Y4K. With an upright, the lever is typically straight up. Yep, so tapping the lever forward. Oh, forward. You mean Wait, I don't know what you mean by forward. Would sharpen the note. You mean away from you, like flexing, or you mean pulling? It is opposite only because the lever position is flipped. Yeah, the concept is the same. Yes. Thank you. And C Muse, no rush. Thank you. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Yeah, so tuning a grand is like standing above a vertical piano and hanging above it and facing downward on it. So on a grand, we put the lever over the strings, and on a vertical, you're just upside down. So everything's upside down. That's what Dawn. That's what Dawn Chorus was saying. Yeah. So if you're tuning a vertical, if you want to, my music stand's not strong enough for my computer. If you want to tune a grand like a vertical, you'd have to hang in front of it with your feet at the tail end and your head up here and tune that way. So that's what you would have to do. 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes. What are we gonna do? Ask me something. I could go find those videos now. I wonder if I can find them. Let me look real quick while someone comes up with another question. Let me see. No, it's going to take me too long. It's going to take me too long to find them. I'll put them in the description. But if you go to my playlist, if you go to my channel and go to playlists and go to music theory for piano technicians, it's all in there somewhere. There's so many. There's like 88 videos in there or something. But just forward until you see the one where it talks about measuring fourths and fifths. That's where it is. Dawn, on a tough piano, how long do you take to set a temperament? That's a good question. How do I decide when I'm done? Oh, that's a really good question. Oh my God. Yeah, that's hard. It's so hard. How long does it take me to set a temperament? I'm not consistent enough yet. I can do it in as short as 10 minutes and as long as 20 minutes. It literally depends on the piano and how tired I am. If it's if there's a piano, the best piano I tune is a Yamaha S7. I think that's what it is. I tune mostly on crappy pianos. That piano, oh my God. So I can tune it faster, but at the same time, I'm more picky. So how I decide when I'm done is going to be a lot more picky than if I'm tuning a Wurlitzer Spin It. I'm going to be a little bit less picky and decide I'm done sooner on that Wurlitzer Spin It. But it might take me a little longer to kind of place everything. So the time, I think, balances out. How do I decide when I'm done? I mean, if the major thirds are progressing, if the lower minor thirds are progressing, the sixths are progressing, all my fifths sound really clean but are slightly narrow, all the fourths are slightly wide, that's it. That's it. Everything has to progress. If there's a major third that's not right, I fix it. I'll take the time. And if I'm having trouble, because sometimes I'll tune myself into a corner, be like, dag nabbit, and I'll fix it. So those are the times it's going to take me more like 20 minutes to set a temperament. And I'm not fast, really. 10 minutes to me is fast, I hope that answers your question. I haven't been tuning aurally that long, so I still got a road ahead of me to keep learning and developing and getting better. I am getting better. It's kind of fun. Danny, come across any seriously unpredictable or strange pianos? Yes. Yes, with regard to their inharmonicity, my Sommer. I'm wondering if you have any horror stories. Not really. Maybe what you had to compromise to make it work. I can talk about that. I only have one horror story, and it was with an ETD, believe it or not. So I'll come back to that. C Muse, industry standardization. How about pin size? Number 2 is definitely the most common. Yep. But I know that Yamahas use Yamahas, or is it Kawai? Or is it Yamaha? It's Yamaha. I don't know that they do that anymore. That would be an Alan question. If Alan is still here. Number 2 is more common. I can't answer that one. I don't think with any serious. I can't give you a really good educated answer on that one. I know that some use number 1. But most use number 2. I keep all 3 tip sizes in my case in case I need them. Curious about the farthest side of the spectrum with regard to pianos that are undesirable to tune. So this is related to the other question. C. Walker, let me answer this real quick. How long have you been aural tuning versus ETD tuning? So I was aural tuning for 18 years or more until after COVID, because COVID is when I really got her done. So I've only been aural tuning, like 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, about 5 years. So to me, that's not that long yet. I'm still developing. But I took to it once I had the right teacher. When I had Rick, it was like, boom, light bulbs. Oh, that's interesting. Most Asian and many European pianos used one-aught pins. Interesting. Okay, so for yeah, I get a lot of pianos with inharmonicity shifts, so that's my thing. It took me forever to figure that out. I didn't have help. Rick is an awesome teacher and mentor, but he worked at the Kennedy Center most of his career. He tuned pianos without big inharmonicity shifts. So when I was working on my Sommer over here, I might show you real quick. It was almost untunable, and I had to learn. The weirdest experience I had is I was testing a beta version of Cybertuner for Dean Rayburn, and it was just a beta. It wasn't out in public yet, but I tuned a Spinet for him, and it was a disaster because it was a new version that was doing new things. This was when he was first developing the aural interval mode, AI mode. And so he was still developing it and stuff. And I tuned this, and across the break, my fifths were wide and my fourths were narrow, and everything was whack. Everything was whack. And this was at a customer's home. So I had to go back and retune it and make it good. So I learned a lot when I tuned that piano. It was a Spinet. It was a horrible piano. But it sounded okay when I was done. I fixed it. So what I do, and I've said this before, I don't want to go over to my Sommer. I could. My Sommer has a big inharmonicity shift right around the lowest unwound string. So normally when you tune a fifth, if you tune it pure at the first coincident partial, it should be narrow at the second. If you tune it pure at the second, it should be wide at the first. Okay. This piano, let me think now. Yeah, this piano is just extreme. So if I tune it narrow at the second coincident partial, it can be wide at the first. And the difference is more extreme than on a piano without the inharmonicity shift. And so I tune my first coincident partial on that piano pure or a hair wide, and then everything kind of comes out okay. On pianos where it does that, like across the break, sometimes it works, and I need to explore more as to why this happens. If I get my temperament strips, I could figure it out. I've just been too busy, but it works going down. So my focus then is on the fast beating intervals, the thirds. Oh, I'm out of time. The thirds and the sixths and tenths as you get lower and stuff like that. I'm trying to get those to progress. But sometimes, let's say a major third really slows down a lot. So I'm going to want to lower the note. But let's say the fifth is pure. I'm not going to lower it anymore, or the fourth is beating 2 beats a second. Those are my limits. So if the opposite happens, if I go down and a major third is suddenly beating too fast, when I get my fifths, fourths, octaves and all that, or beating too fast with all that, I'm going to want to raise that major third. But my limit is a pure fourth. If I raise that major third and my fourth becomes pure and it's still faster, it's going to stay that way. And a beat a second on my fifths at either coincident part. Well, no, 2 beats a second at the second. It depends. The fifth has to sound okay, but the pure fourth is my limit for how sharp. So my fast beating interval, especially major thirds, determine the initial placement of the note, but my fifths and fourths determine where the upper or lower range is going to be. And that's how I get across the break. But sometimes my fifths and fourths are both pure across the break when I get my fast beating intervals as close to I can to where they should be. And I'm not sure why yet. So that's an interesting one. But they'll be pure. You know, if that happened on a high-end piano, I'd question myself more. But you know, I was an ETD tuner for a long time too, and it can happen. I know it can. And it's been fun to make myself a little crazy trying to figure that out. Okay, let's see. How long do you like to spend on a tuning lesson? It's usually an hour. Keynote Piano Tech. Yeah, usually an hour. And it's rarely good to have just one, because we go over things. I figure out where you are, you know, where everything is, and then I give an assignment, and then you either make me a video or we meet again, you know. So we can meet weekly, we can meet every other week, stuff like that. It's usually an hour. We can also do video exchanges without meeting, although it's definitely a slower process to do that. No problem if out of time, but can you clarify for me how someone who wants to solely use ETD knows they are ready to go into the field? Oh, I can do that. Yeah. Stability, unisons and stability. So I've known people who got an ETD and thought their unisons were good and they weren't. So you need to find someone who's willing to mentor you a little bit with unisons. You need to have really clean unisons, and they need to be stable, meaning if you bang it, it's not going to go out of tune. If you can do that, you can use an ETD in tune. I don't think there's a whole lot more than that. I mean, like Alan showed you, there's more to tuning than just tuning, but you can use an ETD in tune if you just have good unisons and stability. And you can tune unisons with an ETD sometimes to a point, but if you have two strings that aren't perfectly matched with their harmonics, with their partial series, you better have a good ear for that unison, because that ETD is not going to get it. So let's see. So I hope that answered that question. Alan, you're ready to go out and tune in the field when you were able to repair or replace a broken string. Aha! Yeah. I had a mentee. Danny says thanks. I had a mentee who I was teaching to tune, and he got a full-time job as a pianist. So he stopped his training, but he still tunes on the side. And if he breaks a string, he can't fix it. You know, he's learning. He's getting there. I think he can get to a point now where he can replace it. He still can't splice it. But he stopped going into it full time. He doesn't tune full time anymore. But he called me. He's like, Maggie, I broke a string. You have to help. I'm like, I'll help you, you know. So Alan has a good point there. Yeah, you know, he was dependent on me to help him if he broke a string. I think he can replace a string now. But I help him when I can. He's doing well. I'm pleased. You know, life happens. Things happen in life that change your direction. I never thought I'd be a tuner, you know. So here I am. Anywho, thank you all. 18. We had 19 for a little bit. Thank you all so much for coming. I do enjoy this. I have fun. I am going to be teaching more, possibly on my own a little bit. So if you're interested in lessons, reach out. Oh, I have a new email. I need to put this on my YouTube and my website. I'm going to have a new website too. It's Maggie@pianotechmaggie.com. So you can reach out. And great session, Maggie. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Alan. Thanks for coming. That's really nice. It's, you know, I don't claim to be a high-end piano technician. I'm not a rebuilder. I can do a lot of basic needs. I can do a lot. Okay. But, the only thing I think I'm really good at, or have become really good at, is teaching aural tuning. I've become good at that. So that's what I want to do. All right. Y'all take care. Happy tuning. Hope to see you next time. Bye.